Sock Passe.
Hey, what's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Team Sock Passe podcast. My name is Glad.
And I am Rob. We are your favorite podcast show where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment below. Remember, subscribe, share, and comment below.
No doubt. Now today, guys, we got a special show for you guys, a special guest. This show is going to be an educational show, an educational piece.
Yes.
We got a positive brother in the community who wrote an awesome book called, and we have it right here, Fitness and Finance. It's a quick read, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk a lot about it, actually. Put your hands together for Mr. Tre Fit.
Yes.
Tre, what's up, brother?
So what's up,
What's up?
Dad? I want to thank you for introducing me and bringing me to this podcast today.
Absolutely.
I definitely want to talk about the importance of health and wealth. It's something that's we really need to talk about within our community as far as just getting ahead as a people, because
Absolutely.
a lot of information we are lacking, and that's the reason why we're in the current state we are. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you got me here and I could talk about it. We could talk about it, whatever you want to know. We can just put it out there for the people.
And before we dive in, I want to just share a story with everybody of how we met. I'm in the gym trying to get my swole on. You know what I'm saying? Trying to better myself.
How long ago was this?
About 2 years ago.
About
right?
2 years.
About
Okay,
yeah. This was right before the pandemic.
Oh, all right.
And you was a trainer at the gym, and you was doing your thing and helping a lot of people, and you helped me reach a lot of goals. I didn't know you was doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
but then when the pandemic hit, I saw on your IG that you were selling you was doing the tube training too.
Right,
So you've got the resistant bands, and we got locked down. We couldn't go to the gym, so we hooked up again to get me so we could get those resistance bands, and that's how we stayed in contact.
Correct.
And we just kept following each other and kept in contact. And then all of a sudden, I see that you launched this awesome book called Fitness and Finance, and this right here is what stresses people out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If we have these two things figured out, guys, fitness and finance, we're good to go. And we're gonna talk in depth about it. This is a much needed book. It's a quick read.
Yeah.
It's 59 pages.
59
pages.
Yeah.
It's a quick
5
read.
chapters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your history.
All right. So as far as me, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Okay.
About that.
Okay.
Single mom household. I pretty much was a good kid, and it was a lot of stuff that growing up in the hood you go through, getting in trouble and things like that.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I had to, I got incarcerated for a while.
Oh, wow.
Caught a conspiracy case, conspiracy to distribute marijuana, and went to federal prison for a amount of time. And
Wow.
that's where actually,
Can you say how long?
yeah. So I was sentenced to 15 years. And 8
What?
months,
Wow.
and I ended up doing 12 months, 12 years and 2 months.
You was
So I
in
went
it
in
for
99. I went in 99, came out in 2011.
wow.
Yeah, so it's something that a lot of people don't know since the first time I really putting it out.
Wow,
That's what's up.
man.
So during that time, believe it or not, that's where the passion for fitness started, right? Because I was a skinny guy, like about 30 when I went in. So I started working out, and then through working out, other people see me getting results, and they wanted to work out with me, right? So I would work out with them, get them right, and they was like, "Hey, Tre, listen, man, you should do this professionally because you know what you're doing. You're taking, you're very patient, and you're getting people results." So that's how the passion for fitness started, and that's where it started.
So you come out and you've got this new passion for fitness. How did you get from that into training?
Okay, so
How soon after, I should say?
Oh, like literally 5 months. 5 months. So I got out November 1st, 2011. I had a friend of mine that actually was already a trainer, and I contacted him and said, "Hey, listen, I'm looking to take my certification.
Okay.
Where should I look?" He said, "Take your NASM certification." So that night I went online and I'm like, okay, went online. This was January, so like I said, for 3 months
You didn't waste no time.
Waste no time because I didn't waste no time. So 3 months, I applied. I paid for it. It was about $800.
Okay.
And so being that I had so much time to study other certification and other things, I paid for it. It was $800. At the time, I only had 1,000 in my account.
Wow.
To be honest with you, and I spent that 800 without hesitation. Studied the course for about 2 months. Now they give you 6 months, but I felt I had the grip. So
Okay.
So in April, beginning of April, I took the test and passed.
Wow.
But even before I passed, I was going on interviews for gyms. And they were like, well, you know, we don't really want to hire you until you become certified. So then after I became certified, one gym, which was on 23rd and Park, New York Sports Club, the manager had interviewed me prior. He said, listen, if you pass the test, reach back out to me.
Okay.
And I will, you know, hire you. So when I passed, I reached out to him and I was hired. So I started working in the gym literally April, so about 5 months after I touched down.
Wow. So let's talk about that, like when you're in that mindset. So how many people did you train while incarcerated? Like what?
Well, to be honest, everywhere I went, somebody wanted to work out with me. Like I would
Really?
start out by myself. No, I'm serious. Like I would go. Well, the first place I went, I was in Milan, Michigan. I was working out with some guys that was like kind of bigger than me, and they kind of like pushing me.
Okay.
But it got to a point where I would work out by myself, and then people would just come and want to work out with me. And then, because you know, you don't stay at one place. They constantly like move you around. So then I ended up going to Jersey, and I had a group of guys that would train me. Then I got sent to Minnesota.
Okay.
I would have a group of guys work out with me. Then I got sent back to Jersey, and then I got sent back to Pennsylvania. So the last place I was at was in Pennsylvania. And everywhere I went, that was the place really where everybody was like, Tre, you should do this.
In PA.
Yeah.
So it kind of clicked, and you were like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got something.
I didn't really. So a lot of people ask me like, did I want to be a trainer? Like, it wasn't that I didn't want to be a trainer. It just like.
It just happened.
Yes.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me like, Tre, so you know how you became a trainer? You know, I explained to them the story like.
Don't get it twisted. You a beast. Don't let them. Don't.
Right.
I saw you had an IG post. You did like that pull up challenge.
Yeah.
How many did you do?
41 pull-ups.
You did 41 pull-ups
pull-ups.
in what? How many seconds? Like under a minute or something like that?
right?
It's like about a minute.
I checked that. I was like,
that's different.
I try to do 2 under a minute. Like
People don't know how you know how
Fix
tough
your mic.
how tough pull-ups are.
oh yeah, pull up
tough.
too.
Pull-ups is tough. I don't know if I can do 41 today, but you know, that's when I was in beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's where that passion started.
Wow.
And how long you been a trainer now?
So since 2012.
Since 2012. You've been training nonstop since then.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
got it.
official trainer since 2012.
Got it.
All right. So now so I read the book, and it's very inspirational, I have to say, because you took it back. I like how it's only 5 chapters. I'm like, cool. I got this.
That's why
You know what I'm saying?
I kept it simple. That's why
That's what's up. So now you're going from, I like how you go from health to wealth, back to health, back to, you know what I'm saying? You go back and forth. Take us back, I should say, as far as what was your first, was it your health first?
No, I talked about wealth first.
You talked about wealth first, right? And then you went into the training part.
Yeah, the health, yes.
The health part. So, like growing up, how was that? Was that like growing up born and raised in Brooklyn? Were you surrounded by any of that, like investing? Did you know about that? Like,
absolutely not. Again, so that part, the investment part, again, the passion came while I was incarcerated.
wow.
Right?
Okay.
So I want to tell a story about that real quick.
Go ahead.
I have to tell the story because it's something that made me become passionate about it. So there was a guy, I said I was in Milan, in Michigan, and there was a guy that I was there with. I'm not sure if he was from Detroit or Chicago, but he was from the Midwest.
Okay.
And man was cool. He was cool. Anyway, long story short, I ended up getting sent to Minnesota. So while in Minnesota, he ended up coming there while I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes to me, he said, Tre, listen, I'm doing a class on stocks, right? He's like, yo, Tre, I'm doing a class. And I mentioned a little bit in the book. And I'm like, I'm not trying to know about stocks. I'm not trying to lose no money. You know, he's like, listen, I'm going to show you that you can make money whether the market go up or down. So the way how my brain worked was like, how can I make money if the market go down? I needed to understand that because that to me that made no sense. And when I took the class was trade. He was teaching how to trade the S&P 500 E-mini, which is the futures market, right? Not stocks. This is the futures. So this is like day trading style. And I was like, once he started breaking everything down, I just became fascinated. Like, are you serious? Like, you can make money doing this?
Wow. And
the amount of money, I'm like, to me, it just clicked.
What's the most challenging part with that? Is it the money, or is it like staying on top? Is it staying on top of the stocks that you're investing in?
All right. So I like to talk about when it comes to investing that there's two types of investors, right? So you have long-term investors, right? So long-term investors, they'll buy their stocks. They look at the fundamentals, they'll buy their stocks, and they look in the hold for the long term, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Long-term growth, which is the way you do want to invest. And then you have the traders, which is the style that I learned.
The day traders.
The day traders. So day traders are like the Forex, you know, futures. Some people day trade options, you know. Those things are more day trading, and then you got your investors. To be honest, I always tell people in the beginning, you want to be an investor first. At least understand how to invest your money.
Right, you did mention that. Yeah.
You hold your stocks. Then later on, if you want to become a trader, you can start to trade. But understanding how a stock moves, the price action of the stock is very important, because you can't trade unless you understand that stuff.
Got you. And not everybody wakes up and say, I'm going to write a book, right? And you talk about what you just said in the book. When did you get the inspiration to say, you know what, it's time for me to write this book, to share this, my knowledge with the world? Okay,
so it really started again after the pandemic started.
Okay.
And I started posting about the investment because literally like almost like right after they told us we couldn't work anymore.
Right.
I posted in my stories like, okay, no work, time to invest. Literally, that's what I posted.
Say that again.
I said, no work, time to invest.
Y'all hear that?
Instantly. Instantly. So I basically defaulted back to what I already knew, right? And said, okay, I can't go to work every day. Okay, let me get back to the stock market and start getting back into the swing of things of the stock market. So I started, not really dabbling, got back in it, wasn't really paying attention because now I'm training clients outside because the gyms are closed. So everybody's hitting me up like, yo, listen, the weather's warm. I want to work out outside now. So I'm training, still paying attention. But while I'm training my clients, I'm letting them know what I'm doing. Doing some stuff on stocks. Some people are like a little bit hesitant because, and when you talk about stuff like that, not everybody is too receptive because of the lack of knowledge.
Right. When you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly. So, just like when my homeboy came to me and told me about, I'm doing a class. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to lose no money. That's kind of the reception you get when you really start to talk to people about it. Like, you just go upside, hey, listen, you think about investing? I don't know about that.
Right.
So I was doing it. So what I started doing while I'm training, I'm talking to them about it and letting them know what I'm doing. So now they become curious. Like, oh, really? That's what you do? I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this stuff. That's how much is going on. This is what's going on. And, a lot of people start asking me questions. It's once I started posting more.
Okay.
People be like, Tre, I didn't know you do that. So much people on the back end. Tre, I didn't know you knew anything about that. What do you know? And then I'm letting them know. So, long story short, I did a Zoom class. I decided to do a Zoom class, right? I said, you know what? Because a lot of people are hitting me up. I don't got time to be this person and that person, that person. Listen, I'm just going to do one Zoom class.
Okay.
And, I'll share that information on Zoom class. So the Zoom class, I can't remember the date, but it was like last year around December.
So it was a paid Zoom?
No, it was
just free. You just had to sign up?
You just had to just join the Zoom.
Okay, that's what's up.
And I gave some game.
So here's a question that I want to know, and we spoke a little about it in the in the green room. Are you able to sustain your lifestyle with the stocks that you're trading with your trading?
Yes, absolutely, and it's not hard. It's not hard.
Okay. So if somebody's out there right now who has a 9-to-5, can't stand their 9-to-5, and they just want to get away from it.
A lot of people.
And they just want to free up time, right?
Right.
And if you teach them these fundamentals that are in this book or are in your Zoom call that you give out this information, you can show them to live that lifestyle where they can step away from their 9-to-5.
Absolutely. But here's the main thing. Again, and we talked about it a little bit. It depends on your psychology about money. That's going to make the break whether you become successful or not.
That's powerful.
That's powerful because you got to understand that money is a tool.
Oh,
it's a tool. Money is a tool.
I was going to get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
Because when I read in the book, I like how you just separated everything. When you talked about instant gratification and delayed gratification. Correct. So now talk about the whole money, understanding what money truly is, because growing up, money was like, look, you got to put it in the savings account, in the bank account, whether it's 10,000, 20,000, you make $2 from that or whatever it is. You got to put your money away, put it under the mattress, like my grandmother used to say. You got to work hard. This is what's going to happen. And literally, like you said in the book, it's like the average American has like maybe $300 in their savings account. So let's talk about the money exactly. What is...
Right. So I'm glad you said that, because I actually was literally having a conversation about the same thing earlier with a client I was training earlier, right?
Okay.
So there's different mentalities to money, right? So some people, again, like you said, view money as a tool, and then some people view money as something that's expendable, right? So depending on how you view money is really going to determine what you do with the money and how you get that money, right? So say for instance, a person that has 10,000, like you just said, right? Now, their concept of money is just like, all right, you know what? I got this money, and they just want it to sit, right? They just want the money to sit. They don't want the money to have any risk towards that money. And then you have the other side, who a person would be like, I got this 10,000. I need this thing to grow, right? So the person who's going to make it grow, obviously going to make more money, while the person who just let it sit under the mattress, like you say, your grandma, right? What happens when you let your money sit like that or in a savings account, that money depreciates year over year because of inflation.
Got you.
Right? The cost of goods and services goes up year over year, right? Wow, that money, that 10,000 is still 10,000, but next year it doesn't have 10,000 in purchasing power.
So you're basically saying you got to keep flipping your money.
Yes. So this is where investing come in. You have to invest so your money keeps up with the rate of inflation. And it's crazy that I literally posted in my stories earlier, right? They talked about today that Dollar Tree is going to raise Dollar Tree is gonna raise.
I saw that.
Be $1 anymore?
It's not gonna be $1 no more. Dollar Tree is gonna.
Dollar Tree. What was Dollar Tree ever $1? Like there was some stuff there.
Most,
like,
yeah, Dollar Tree was $1.
Most of the stuff.
No, Dollar Tree, the green, that's $1.
That's
I don't
$1,
care what you
right?
get in there.
Yeah, most of the
every
stuff.
single thing in there is $1.
Yeah, it was
you talking about Dollar General now is different.
Yeah.
So they said they're gonna raise prices anywhere from 25 to 50 cents, right? So I literally posted in my stories. When I saw that, I posted in my stories, and the song I put in the background was "Ring the Alarm." That was it. "Ring the Alarm," from Tenor Saw. The market closed. I'm watching Fast Money, and you guys could go back and look at my stories later. The same thing I said, they said.
Wow.
Are they sounding the alarm on everything I love?
Wow.
On
That's
everything
deep.
I love.
That's deep.
I already posted it like 6 hours earlier.
Wow.
saying like, yo, this inflation, because I've been talking about it, I've been posting about it, and I'm telling you, I've been talking about it, I've been posting. It's in the book. I talk about the rate of inflation and stuff, and it's real.
So let's. So now people, their mindset are saying, everything is going up except for my paycheck. In the culture, that's all you hear.
Yeah.
You know, working. Everybody talks about that. Everything is going up except for my paycheck. How do you change? Because it has to be. I think to me, it's deeper than, okay, money is a tool. We gotta invest it. But then the mindset has to change where it's like, if it's a risk in the stock market, how do you change that person's mindset? Because growing up, the stock market was only for certain.
Yeah, that's a great question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what it was. And we, as minorities, are still stuck on that mindset.
Correct.
We're still stuck on this mindset. Like, the stock market is not for us. I'm going to put my money in it and I'm going to lose it. But what you have to realize is your money's sitting in the bank. You're losing it there too. If you, listen, say for instance, a person don't even want to be like, I don't really want to like invest in stocks. Like, I don't want to have to look for stocks. You can invest in the index fund. You could buy an ETF, right?
So talk about
So an index fund.
All
right. So an index fund would be the one that everybody pays attention to is the S&P 500
Right.
index fund, which is the SPY, right? So if you just put that money, and it's in the book too, I talked about it. If you put your money in that, right, the S&P, and it's an index, so you have the Dow Jones, you have the NASDAQ, and you have the S&P. They all three are indexes. You can invest in any one of them, right? If you just invested last year in 2020 in the S&P 500, you took $1,000, just using that as a benchmark,
Okay.
and you let it set from 2020 into 2021, that 1,000 would have been $1,160, because last year the S&P grew 16%.
Wow.
Right now, think about if that $1,000 was in a bank account.
No, you like 16 cents.
Exactly. So even if you don't want to be like, I don't have time to look at stocks, I don't have time, invest in an index fund.
Got you. Now,
That's the simplest way to invest.
That's great. It's got so much to talk about. I want to talk about debt.
Okay.
You talked about in the book one of your friends who was in debt. He was living a certain lifestyle.
Yes.
Tony, right?
Right.
Tony.
I like that story.
He's got the car. He's got child support. He's got this. He's got that. But he wants to live a certain lifestyle.
Correct.
And then the pandemic. Oh, I think a little bit before the pandemic.
It was before the pandemic.
You know, his life changed financially, and he was in a rut. And then you told him, like, look, bro, you got to go here to, you know, get a side gig or whatever. Let's talk about the mindset of debt.
Okay. So when it comes to debt, again, there's good debt and there's bad debt.
Bad debt.
You know what I'm saying? Good debt is debt that you use for appreciating assets, right? So if you buy a house,
Right.
and then you take it and you rent it out, it's bringing you back money.
Right. We know the car, you buy the car, it depreciates as soon as it goes
in value.
As soon as it goes off the lot, right?
Right, correct. But at the same time, you can make a car can be an asset
Absolutely.
if you use it
As
to
an,
make
like
you
an Uber, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you Uber, whatever, if you rent it out.
Which your boy Tony did.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing, right?
So you could use certain depreciating assets and still make it an asset where it's bringing you money. Because think about it, right? So think about it. You buy a car, right? You buy a car, and you're working your 9 to 5, and you're using your 9 to 5 to pay for the car, right? That is 100% a liability, because that car's not bringing you no money. Okay, you drive it to work, it's getting you to work, it's getting you back or whatever.
Right.
But it's not bringing you back any money. So it's a liability. It's not an asset. And then you can't sell it for what you bought it for. Now, say for instance, you took the car and you're like, you know what? Like, they got a thing called Turo out. It's not in New York. You know, New York is very strict.
Not yet. They're working on that.
They're working on it. But
Yeah.
New York is so strict with everything.
Yeah, they're working on it. It's
Even
in Jersey.
Uber,
It's in Jersey.
Yeah, with the Uber. So
Right.
say for instance, you utilize the car and the car is bringing you an income. I don't care if it's $100 a week. I don't care what it's bringing you. But if using the car and the car is bringing you money, you could use that money to pay for the expenses of the car. So now your 9 to 5 money
could go to take care of other things.
Correct.
You know, so that's why, like, when it comes to debt, you really have to understand why you going in debt, right? So don't go into debt to look fly. I mean, that's to me, that's what we call hustling backwards, right? You're hustling backwards because you're in debt. This money got to be paid back with interest. Let's not forget the interest, right? And you're doing it for what? You want to look fly?
So you don't believe in that fake it till you make it strategy?
Nah. I mean, some people do it, but personally, I just can't.
Right.
The way how I'm as a person.
The mindset is different.
Yeah, because honestly, I could be faking it until I make it. I could be posting all type of stuff,
right,
what I'm doing, and people could see, and then they gravitate towards it, but I don't have time for that. I mean, I want to keep it real with the people. I want to keep it real with, and that's it. If you gravitate towards it and you like it and you feeling it, let's build. You know,
no doubt. Let's jump a little bit and talk about health again, because the book kind of goes health
back and forth.
Right.
Back and forth.
Absolutely.
You kind of mentioned some of the major issues in the community: diabetes, heart disease. What else?
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure, all that, and all of that stuff. Because there are times people they have certain goals, but they're not reaching those goals because they have thyroid issues, they have high blood pressure, and all of these. Share with us about when you're going trying to live a healthy lifestyle, and you have these goals. You were talking about being patient.
Yes. So patience is really something that we have to like deal with. Being patient, and with these diets and stuff, and these diseases. Let's talk about diseases. With these diseases, right? People have to understand, like, most of those diseases are correlated to their diet, right? So the diet is what's really causing these issues, right? So, you know, people with diabetes, that's high sugar. You know, people with high blood pressure, a lot of salt. People with high cholesterol, they eat a lot of saturated fats, you know. So if the person could really, like, take care of that diet, they could kind of, like, really take care of these issues.
I'm sorry. How do you maintain that on somebody who's always on the go? And if someone is living in an area where those healthy foods are not there, and if they are there, they're super expensive and they're like an hour away from there, like, how do we sacrifice and make those changes, or do we deal it with in moderation?
All right, so you said the key thing that I was gonna say, the sacrifice, right? That's the key thing. I was gonna go right that. You have to sacrifice for success. You have to sacrifice somewhere down the line. Like that is just, it is what it is, right? So you have to sacrifice, because some people don't like to cook, right? Some people's like, yo, Trey, I'm not gonna cook. I don't know how to cook, but you have to sacrifice somewhere. If you don't want to cook, guess what? Hire you a meal prep service, right? So you getting some healthy foods there. If you got to go to Trader Joe's, you got to make that true, right? If you got to go to Whole Foods, you just have to make these sacrifices, because in life, we all know nothing is easy, right? We can't always expect something on a silver platter. I mean, it don't work like that. Sometimes you might have to troop an hour to get what's good for you, right? You know, because remember, this is something you put inside your body, you know. So you should want to feel glad to go an hour to Trader Joe's and get something that's healthy. The other day, there was a guy, Free Haven Farms, shout him out real quick. So he owns his own farm in Jersey. Like, he grows his own stuff. He's on Instagram, and he drove out to Brooklyn the other day in front of Angelique's spot, and was selling his veggies that he grew himself.
Oh, wow.
And listen, the man had a line.
Wow.
The man had a line of people waiting for him. It's all organic.
Take it back to the basics.
Yes, this is all organic, right? So just to show you, like, even if you have to get to that point where, okay, I need to grow my own stuff, you know, this is what we got to do. We got to make these sacrifices, man.
So let's talk about that, because I kind of want to dig deep, because we always have this conversation. And single mom in Brooklyn, 3 kids, all she has is the deli, the corner deli, a couple of supermarkets, a few blocks away, 2 jobs. Look, this is whatever I have in my cabinet is what's gonna make it happen. Because like literally, born and raised in Brooklyn, like we saw this. You know what I'm saying?
I lived that. I lived it.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm taking it back to when I was growing
So
up.
it's like, how do I, as a mom or as a dad, single dad with kids, yo, we on survival mode. The mindset is on survival mode.
Absolutely.
You know, we going to the deli. The kids are home. They may not have grandma about them. You know what I'm saying? So how would you recommend someone like that in that situation?
So I'm gonna keep it. I gotta keep it 100. That's tough, right?
Right.
It's tough. It's gonna be tough. But at the end of the day, right? I grew up in Flatbush, right? We do have a lot of fruit stands that's accessible. And when I say fruit stands, they don't just sell fruits; they sell vegetables. They give you all that fresh stuff. Because my mom used to go there a lot.
Right.
I mean, you can still make it work, right? You can still make it work, but again, are you willing to make it work? That's the thing. Because I'm telling you, I could go right on those fruit stand on Church and East 19th. It's still there, and I would get fresh, whatever, fresh greens, fresh broccoli, onions, tomato, whatever.
So it's there. We just gotta look for it.
Not even look. It's there. It's just that we have to apply it.
Supply it, right? Because the
Change-
fast
change
food is
the habit.
the fast
Yeah.
food is fast food, like the instant gratification.
Right.
That's
why
I don't have time.
That's why the fast food is in the hood.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's like I don't have the time. I get home by 8:00. The kids are doing their homework. I'm tired. I got to get up again in the morning. I gotta prepare their lunch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, we're going to Mickey D's, Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood for this right now.
So is that, like you said, the instant gratification, right? Instant. But again, it's gonna go back to this. It's
Right.
called sacrifice. Okay.
Sacrifice.
There are people in the hood that are actually making that sacrifice, though.
We are doing better.
Not everybody.
Not everybody, but
Not
I've
everybody.
seen, yes.
But there are people that's making that sacrifice. They're like,
Yes.
no, I'm not gonna feed my kids this, because to be honest with you, the way how the food is today is worse than I was growing up. And the reason why I say that is this. One, when I was in junior high school, right, I never saw the kids that's going to junior high school now as big as they are. I never seen that. Like, I'm looking like, how you're 14, like this tall. That didn't exist when I went to school. It didn't exist.
It didn't. You're right. You're right.
Right? So why is that happening now today?
The food.
Wow.
What's in the food?
What's in the food?
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, another thing that wasn't so prevalent, and I know this is like a touchy thing for a lot of people, but like the autism thing. Right? It wasn't something like when I went to school, there wasn't really, I didn't really see that, you know what I mean? Like how it's kind of like a thing today.
Right.
You know, so what's causing all that?
Food.
You know, these are things that we have to think about. And again, remember what we're getting, low quality, right, compared to what you're going to get if you go away.
It's crazy because I remember in Brooklyn, well, actually, no, when we moved out to Queens, there were times when the supermarket literally by Green Acres was right there. But my parents, I don't know, for some reason, they drove. I didn't understand it back then. I was like, there's a supermarket right here. Why are we driving 20 minutes away?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To go, but my mom was like, they have better chicken.
Yeah.
The chicken is fresh. You know what I'm saying? Fruit is fresh.
Yeah.
But now that I'm getting older, I'm understanding it. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, see.
It's by design.
It is by design. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so it's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy. So are you looking to put these, when you talk about school, are you looking to put how are you implementing it? Do you want to implement this into the school systems and
Honestly, I would.
and mentor some?
Honestly, I would love to be honest, because these two topics specifically are not being taught in schools. I'm talking about like, and when I say schools, I'm talking about like from grade school. So you're talking about from K to 12th grade, right?
yeah.
They're not telling you how to really eat and the things about diet. They just telling you the basic stuff, right? They're not digging deep into it. So we got a good understanding of nutrition, right? We have a good understanding of what finances, how to, deal with money. Because that's the biggest thing that really hurt our community, is that we really don't know how to deal with money. We just now kind of getting it together, right now. But imagine we had it together 20, 30, 40 years ago.
That's true. Wow. That's true.
Think about it. Imagine we did.
That's true.
Like, we missed out on a big gap. We missed out on a big gap of generational wealth. Very big.
Do we have another opportunity?
No, the opportunity is always going to be there.
Got you.
Yeah, the opportunity is always going to be there.
Great. Go. Finish your point.
No, the opportunity is going to be there. The good thing about now is that people are being more educated. And I love, like, when I see people talk about it, it do excite me. Because it's not something, like, I know people might see me now posting about the finances and all that, and they think this is something new, that just because of the pandemic, I'm just on it. I learned this stuff way back in 2006.
Wow.
So, and like I told you earlier, once I learned and understood, it became passionate for me. Just like with the fitness, it became a passion. I wouldn't even have put it in a book if I wasn't passionate about it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
A couple more questions before we wrap up that I have.
Yeah.
This one is talking about the finance now. It's a two-part question.
Yeah.
You're investing in stocks. You're a free man. You create your own hours. Somebody brand new out there watching. What's the minimum amount of money that they need to invest in stocks, and how many stocks are you invested in that, or somebody could get started to get to where you're at?
All right. So one of the main things, you can start with as little as $100. So even when I did the Zoom, I told people, listen, you don't got to go crazy. Start with $100. Buy a few stocks, understand how the stock move, pay attention. Now, once you want to learn more, right, I always advise read a book, and then you could kind of like expound on it, right? So one of the methods that I like to use is this. So I have, I have I have two accounts. So I have a long-term account, which is my TD Ameritrade, and then I have a Webull account. My Webull account is more of a trading / what they call emergency fund. They say you should have an emergency fund 6 months. So my Webull is my emergency fund. So what I do with that account is I take every week, no matter what, when I get paid, I take $50 and I drop it in there. I don't care what's going on.
Okay.
I said, say 10% of your income, whatever. I'm putting $50 in there every week, and then I'm buying a stock every week. Or I might wait for a stock that I already have to dip a little bit under the price I got, and then I'll buy more of that. That's a strategy that's good, because what's the sense of having that money sitting in a savings account that's not going to generate me any money, and I put it into an investment account, and at least it's going to make me more money.
Right. So now, when you said Webull, which is pretty popular, do you recommend Robinhood as well?
Robinhood, all right. I'm not gonna say I don't like Robinhood, but for me, the how advanced I am, Robinhood to me just
is too basic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand the whole intricacy. So Robinhood is just like, if you're brand new and you just want to be like, okay, here, I want to buy a stock, and you're not looking to like dig deep and look at support and resistant levels and the technicals of the stock and all that, then you could use Robinhood. Robinhood is serving its purpose. That's why I say I'm not like against it.
Right.
Because Robinhood is actually serving its purpose and is helping people to
Because that's
get
how
money.
that's how I started. Like,
yeah,
with
it's helping
Robinhood,
people to get money.
And what I did was, I like sneakers, so I literally took a little bit, like $50 a month, and I was investing into these sneaker companies, like the Nikes and the Adidas.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And it was just like, all right, cool. If I'm buying this product, I might as well invest in it. But then it took me 20 plus years to understand that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm
but
saying?
but the thing is, it's never too late,
Right, it's never too late. Okay.
and the good thing about it is that now, so that knowledge you could pass it down to your kids and your
True.
family,
True.
and let them know. Because remember, that's why I say it's not too late. We got to look behind us. Who's coming up behind us? you know, and make sure they get this information.
That's another conversation, bro.
To make sure they get this information, and then they can take
a
it
lot
to
of
the next
us
level.
don't think that way.
My last question, chapter 5.
Yes.
The last chapter of the book. You talk about once you're financially free and once your health is intact, maintaining that.
Yes.
So when you get to that point, talk or share with us a few tips on maintaining your financial security and your health.
And your health. So basically, it's like don't go outside your means. Like if you're already comfortable and you're living your life, the bills is taking care of themselves. Maintain that. You know, once you become fit, you don't need to be in the gym every day. You work out 3 times a week. You'll be able to maintain that. So basically, the hard part is getting to maintenance level, right? You got to get to maintenance level, and then once you get to maintenance level, everything is easy.
Maintenance level meaning I think you recommended 75 minutes per
Yeah,
work.
that's the government recommend you do 75 minutes.
The government. Okay.
Right. So once you get to maintenance level,
Okay.
everything pretty much is taking care of itself, and then you're pretty on easy street. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If you invested your money, say like it was 20, I broke it down, and you became 45, with the compound interest, you would have had like $500,000 in your account, right? You got $500,000 in your account. You don't really got to worry about how your bills is going to get paid.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like your
true.
bills are
That's
going to
true.
get paid. Your bills are going to be paid, and this is something where you don't have you live in a stress-free lifestyle. So life, like I said, once you get to maintenance, it's easy. Your life should be easy unless you get reckless and you feel like you want to do some extra stuff.
That's crazy. You know, as you're talking, man, we're going to definitely have to have you come back on, maybe more on a frequent tip. We may have to have a special kind of podcast show where
absolutely.
we can talk about specific stocks and
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I'm
we
saying?
could do
like,
that. We
like,
could do that.
like advice to
All
give
right.
to the
So,
community.
yeah.
You know, we could talk about that on another show because it's just great knowledge, man. This
Right.
is just an
So
awesome show.
I just want to talk about this one stock
Yeah.
real quick before we
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And I posted it on my Instagram and it's in the story. So, and I'm kind of mad at myself about it. So that's why I want to talk about it. I seen it today and I was like highly upset. So there was a stock I bought 1,000 shares of on August 24th, right? It was trading for 38 cents.
Wow.
It was trading for 38 cents. So I bought 1,000 shares, spent
Okay.
$380. Because that's my specialty too, by the way. I love the penny stocks because I kind of like dig deep and find them. Because
you go into penny stocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you get a higher rate of return. They move quick. So anyway, long story short, the stock is CEI, right? It's an energy company. So I bought 1,000 shares. It ran up to about $1,
Wow.
and I sold it, right?
Wow.
In about 2 weeks. So I definitely made 100% off the money. I made 100%, which is fine. I saw the stock today trading at $4.
Ooh.
wow.
Yeah.
No, 470. I screenshot it.
470.
470. I screenshot it and put it in my stories and was like,
Wow.
and it's
You
another
actually
dude.
sold it.
That $300 would have been 4,700 right now
Triple, yeah.
in a month.
In a month.
That's only
In a month, in only a month. So these are the things that, like you said, if you want to, we come back and I could talk in depth about like how you start making these trades, what to look for, how to look for it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and do all that stuff. Like I left literally over $4,000 on the table. I'm highly upset.
Wow.
And we
Nah,
could
that's
all
the-
use $4,700.
And you spent $380.
And you spent $380 to get it? Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
So,
so-
like, before we wrap up, any last minute like advice to the public as far as health and wealth, what to look out for?
Well, I would just say, listen, just get started. It's never too late. People think it's too late. Just get started. Learn the basics. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up and told me that I should start like a class
Yes.
again.
Definitely.
Definitely need it.
Start a class like trade. I'm getting that. I got a lot of ideas on how I want to do it. But that's something I do want to do because it's like I want to help the people. Like if I knew CEI was gonna go to 4,000, I'd have called you and like, listen, make sure you get some shares in that CEI because that shit gonna run. There's a dude that's following me too. He bought it. he's following me on my Fitness and Finance page. I don't know if y'all following that page yet too.
No, not yet.
Yeah, so I got to give you that. Yeah. So the Fitness and Finance group at on Instagram. He's following me and he saw that I posted, so he hit me on the back end like, "Yo, listen, Tre, I got in at that at 70 cents." Right? And at the time I posted it, it was literally 2 days ago. 2 days ago, it was trading at $2.79. So think about it.
Wow.
It went up $2 in 2 days.
In 2 days.
Imagine that.
Wow.
And he told me he had it in several different accounts.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you find your purpose? You think you
Yeah.
found your purpose?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because from day one, I've always been, always looking to help people.
Okay.
Always.
Wow.
Anybody that know me like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, Tre, he always trying to put somebody on to something.
Well, anybody who could do 41 push-ups or 50 push-ups on the
Pull-ups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Follow him
facts.
for
That
some
is
advice.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, Tre Fit. Tre Fit.
Yeah,
Share
Tre
the
Fit.
world, your social
Yeah,
media.
let everybody know where they can
Tre-
find you.
Tre Fit at Instagram. Actually, it's Tube Training NYC at Instagram. It's also Fitness and Finance at Instagram. You can follow me on those 2 pages right there.
And please come out with a course. Tell the public.
Yeah,
like,
no, I will.
For sure. This
I
is
will.
like this
Please-
book right
please
here.
come
This
back.
Fitness
Awesome,
and
I'll come back.
Finance.
Fitness and Finance, how to manage your health and wealth.
It's only 5 chapters, 59 pages. Like
Get it on Amazon.
you can read it.
Amazon.
It's very affordable.
Very,
Yes.
very affordable. And
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
literally
It's
like
a quick read, guys.
a
like
quick read.
like a
Definitely.
day during your lunch period.
Thank
It's
you.
just-
You know how
Or
much
you
people
can read
type-
or you can read a page a day too.
Yeah, a chapter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly.
bro. It's
A chapter
I
a
love
day.
it. I love it.
Break it down in a week. You could read it in a week if you want.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
coming on, man.
I
Thank
want
you,
to
Tre.
thank you guys too. I wanna
Appreciate
thank
you, man.
guys,
Appreciate
yo.
you,
Thank
bro.
No doubt, my brother. Anytime.
Appreciate it, man, because
Anytime.
this is something that I love to talk about.
That's what's up, man.
All right.
And remember, subscribe, share, comment below. Team Sock by Say. Glad. Any last minute words?
Nah, I'm just happy that you were able to come on. We'll have you on soon for sure.
All right, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. I
absolutely.
appreciate
All
it.
right, Team South Say, we
Team
out.
Sapase.